Happy people. Happy people. I hope we are all doing good today. I am so excited about being on here today. I'm overwhelmed because today has been a real. It started off crazy. And sometimes, when I'm in the thick of things and I am, dealing with like so many different things, it alters sometimes my spirit. And and it started off today with me going and taking care of some bills and just noticing a person behavior that I was actually dealing with. And then it morphed into another person that, behavior. And I started realizing, I'm like, this has irritated me so much to where I had to think, okay, so why am I getting so irritated? And what is it about this irritation that is speaking to me today? And how do I handle this irritation? And I came to terms with this irritation, these irritations that were happening, that maybe this is something that I need to speak on today. I know I've been saying that I'm going to talk about the demasculation of men and the silencing of women. And I'm spirit led, so I just don't oftentimes just jump into, something that just sounds good. I just try to just move by the spirit. But today I want to talk about the act of kindness, and the lack thereof that we don't exemplify towards each other when it's just needed. And so today I'm starting off with this scenario because it's it is what's most prevalent in my mind to speak about. I was going to take care of a bill, and at these different stores, they have these kiosks, and if you don't have the exact change, then the kiosk will take all of your money, and they will just apply it towards the bill. And that's not something I just chose to do today. And so I waited up there at the customer service desk, that where you go buy stamps and you go buy money orders and stuff like that. And I noticed the lady that was there, she was over talking to another employee, and they were just kicking it, having fun or whatever. And so another employee saw that I had been waiting there for maybe like about 5, 6 minutes. And so she alerted the lady. And so when she acknowledged me, she said, "Yes, can I help you?" And I said, "I just want to know if I can get some change before I actually use this kiosk." "No, we don't give change. We don't give change here." And I'm like, "Oh," I said, "So since when did we start giving change at a customer service desk?" "Well, we never we've been doing this for a while because someone gave the wrong change to a person, and it went down from corporate on down to me. I'm the manager, and so we're not giving change anymore." And I said, "Wow." I said, "That's interesting. Well, yes, have a nice day." Very dismissive, very rude, and very dismissive. And I stopped for a second because I'm like, "Am I on candid camera? Is this really happening?" And because there was really no need for her to be so rude. And I looked at the security officer, and she just put her head down like she couldn't believe it either, because she had seen how the whole thing transpired. And so I asked her, I said, "Is there a store manager in the building?" And she said, "Yes, there is. Would you like me to go get him?" And I said, "Yes, would you please?" And so she went to go get the store manager, and the lady noticed her going to get the store manager. So the lady herself ran in to speak to the store manager first. She wanted to tell her side of the story. And so when the store manager came out, I could look with his disposition on him that he is already ready to defend this lady. And so I said, "Listen, I don't have a problem with her not wanting to give change, or you guys not giving change. It's the way she served it. It's the way that she did it and spoke to me that was so very dismissive and so very rude. And I just don't feel like working in customer service, that is the service that we need to offer up to customers that are paying money to shop here, that's giving you your job, that's keeping this business open. And she said, well, she was over there and she has a lot of things on her plate that she's doing. I said, no, she was clearly over there talking to an employee, and they were just laughing. I said, well, sir, she just can't do it. I said, okay, very well. Thank you so much. And so I end up going to a gas station, getting change and coming back. Long and behold, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and we went into just where how people are, the act of just kindness. And so I just thought about that today, and I came up with some scriptures for this particular subject. And it's in First Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy or boast or is arrogant. You know, love is kind. And no, she doesn't know me, but an act of kindness towards anyone ain't gonna ruin nobody's day. In fact, it's gonna make your day better. It's gonna make my day better. Well, how could she have handled that situation different? She could have said, well, sir, I'm so sorry. I would love to give you change, but at the moment, they're not allowing us to give change anymore. Somebody did something and messed it up for everybody. So please, I can offer you another way. There could have been another way that she could have handled it that could have brought peace to both our situations, but she chose to handle it in a very nasty disposition. And I noticed something. She was of our culture. She was of my culture. And I'm just like, is it something that is just really swarming in the midst of our culture where we tend to be so nasty, nicey towards one another as opposed to just rendering kindness? And where does that come from? Where we have got to be so nasty towards to someone that is of our culture? Why can't we just walk in kindness and love towards one another? And it really, I just really came home bothered, not so much to where the whole situation, but just, Lord, what is the missing piece of this element that we need to render towards one another? And so I was looking at these scriptures, and it says in Colossians 3:12, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. And so now I'm looking at this towards her, but then I had to start looking at it towards my response towards her. Because let me tell you something. I had got the regional manager's number. I know who she is. I was ready to call. I was going to make sure that she was going to be reprimanded in some type of way. But then the Lord started dealing with me about, okay, this is your act of kindness. Now, no, yes, she could be kind towards you. She could have been kind towards you. Yes, she did not handle that thing in the right way, but your response back towards her can still give her grace and kindness. I know y'all thought I was going someplace to try. I was trying to defend myself, but no. So I had to shake myself. So y'all, another thing occurred to where I was on the phone with somebody and talking about bills, and I was talking about, this house is equipped now as being a solar system house, and there is a company called AEP that also renders electricity for homes. And so we switched from AEP to solar. So we wouldn't have to be paying these astronomical prices. And I was sharing with her, I said, well, look, I can't afford to pay both. I'm not about to pay both. One is gonna go lacking. Somebody ain't getting something because the process of us going over to solar, they had promised us that AEP would end up paying us, towards the solar that we're generating. And so that didn't happen that way. And so it ended up to where we end up on a large sum of money, and they both want them paid on the same exact day, which is tomorrow. And so uh, she said to me, well, it's just not good not to pay your bills. It's just not good not to take care of your bills. You're gonna have to. And I'm thinking to myself, that is really some advice to give somebody, I mean, I think we all know it's not good not to pay your bills. But I'm thinking to myself, why is this such an irritation to me? Because that person understands the predicament that it would put us in to pay both bills and how much it was. And I'm thinking to myself, but rendering advice and then getting mad because someone is not taking your advice, is that the way that we are towards one another? And so I said, listen, that advice is not solicited. It's not something that I care to even hear, because the predicament on why we couldn't do both of them. And so why would that be an advice to give? And I'm oftentimes a person, you guys, that I just don't try to give advice and not put my money where my mouth is at, in a sort of a speak way. In other words, if I give advice, it's something that I'm actually living by myself, or something that I'm actually doing myself. And if I have some advice to give you that doesn't work for you, then maybe the advice that I'm giving you that doesn't work for you, maybe there is another thing that may work, that can help soothe your situation. But my dad used to say that a whole lot of advice with nothing backing it is just some empty advice. And so, especially if that advice does not help you move forward past the situation that you're in. And so sometimes, and then, well, what does this have to do with the act of kindness? When a person doesn't want or doesn't accept your advice and you get mad at them, I mean, it's just the act of kindness of saying, I can, sometimes people just want empathy. Sometimes people just want to just be heard. Sometimes people don't even want you to settle the situation, or cure the situation. Sometimes people just want to know that they're acknowledged being heard. And so that's where I was at this morning. But, of course, neither one of those things worked out well for me today. And it got me so frustrated to where I was like, oh, I don't even want to do this. Like, what is going on? But I had to work out the irritation that was working in my spirit was my act of kindness toward them, not necessarily theirs towards mine. So I'm saying to you today, and I know that I'm almost out of time. I'm saying to you today, if you find yourself in a place to where you don't see, or you're not feeling that act of kindness, think about your kindness towards them. Because the word of God says that when we render kindness towards someone that's not giving us the same kindness or the same measure that we feel like we deserve, it's like heaping coals on top of their head. So I want to leave you with some other scriptures. Um, Even in thinking with the word kindness, Proverbs 19:17 says, whosoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he rewards them for their hard earned labor. Another scripture that I found in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32, and I hope that this blesses somebody. Be kind and compassionate to one another. Forgive each other just as Christ has forgave you. Father, kindness, compassion, forgiveness describes your character. So if you want to exemplify the Father's character towards other people that's not rendering kindness to you, I invite you to render kindness and compassion towards them, even when they're acting ignorant, even when they feel like they think they know everything, even when they feel like that their advice is the only advice that they can be heard, or even when they are rendering hanging up on you, in the midst of you trying to explain yourself. What is your kindness towards them? Even if they're talking about you behind your back, even if they're lying on you, even if they got you in a place of misunderstood, being understood, or even if they got you in a place of being able to help your situation, but holding back on it. What is your kindness to them, and how you would want yourself to be treated if they were in your shoes? Okay. I hope this has blesses you. I hope that this ministers to you. I hope that this is something that helps you. Where is kindness? Kindness is an act that you choose to use when someone is giving you the opposite. Kindness is something that we render even when the person themselves don't understand what it looks like. You still stay in a place of kindness, okay? And if you don't know how to do that, listen, you probably need to come talk to me. Yes, come talk to me. Let's figure out what we need to do to try to get you in a place to where you will find yourself acting in those areas, okay? I hope this thing is not messing up because I just clicked on something, but I don't think it is. I think it's just another uh, one that I didn't need. So if you find yourself needing to, get some coaching in this, I want to invite you to come and talk to us. We have all sorts of tools that can help you. You yourself kind of like help you get beyond the things that you are stuck on. Let me see where if I can find it. Listen, I'm trying to work this and trying to be smooth with it and trying to, do all of what the camera would allow me to do. And so sometimes I just, listen, I don't have Patrick here. So you just gonna have to bear with me on trying to figure this out because my cameraman is not here. So he is showing me how to do this stuff. So if you'd like to be a part of just getting our tools, our books, you can go to my website, excuse me, and you can get these books. One book is for women, talking about our men and how you can best support your husband or your soon-to-be fiance or boyfriend or somebody that you're dealing with. How you can support them getting unstuck and getting them into empowerment positions. Sometimes we as men don't always expose who we really are. When we should. So these things to kind of help confirm to our women what you're dealing with. And then I have a workbook on there too, where the workbook also helps you identify pathologies that that continues to render you stuck into the same positions year after year, day after day, month after month. It is something that you definitely want to get in your arsenal. I'm telling you, it will bless you. We use it on Let's Talk Truth when we invite people into our safe house to do extensive coaching. And so it will be definitely something that will bless you. You need to get it. You need to get it. It would definitely help you. I also have for tools for those that are looking for something to just empower yourself and empower others. I have the Fearfully and Wonderfully Made for women, and I also have the Fog Wear for men. I'm actually wearing one right now, and it reminds you that men, you are fearfully. Women, you are fearfully, wonderfully made, and men, you have the favor of God pursuing you. And if some people don't know that, so when you wear it, it reminds them. And if you don't remind them, then how will they know it? Even buying them a shirt for the New Year's, coming into a new way, a new neural way. A path of thinking, hey, I'm fearfully, wonderfully made. Listen, I had the favor of God on my life. Listen, get these shirts. You can go to my website. You can go into the store, click the size button. We'll get them out there to you. They're not expensive, but they are definitely durable shirts. They last. I wash them, I dry them. They don't shrink. They're very good quality. So go ahead and get yourself that shirt and bless somebody with it. And then if you would like to be a part of the Let's Talk Truth, coaching where we do 3 days of intensive coaching. We invite you to our safe house, or we'll even come to where you're at. Go to my website again, www.imjailstone. Click the casting button. Tell us your story. One of our producers or one of the coaches will get back with you, and we'll see if your story best fits what we're going to be shooting for in this season, this New Year season that's coming up. Okay, listen, I'm out of time. I am JL Stone. There is nothing that you can do about me loving you the way I do. And listen, we're going to do it on purpose. We're going to do it in purpose, and we're going to do it with all power. Okay, until next time, see you soon. Let's render an act of kindness to someone.